Good morning, good evening, good night, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host, James Clausen, aka the Crimson King, aka the Fusion Force, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I have a very interesting video I want to watch and react with you guys, and possibly rant afterwards. Today we're doing a death battle reaction. In the last video I watched of them, they did the Godzilla vs. Hulk video. I wasn't a fan of that, mainly because Hulk should not have won that at all. They put way too much bullshit and put way too much... They basically combined every Hulk and every Godzilla into one and still used the context of Godzilla Singular Point's whole premises and and Ultima. The point being, they fucked that up way too much. Godzilla should not have lost that at all. In fact, it's literally been proven time and time again, even in the Marvel comics, that Hulk should have lost that significantly. And point being, we're going to get into this video right now, and I do hope you guys like this. It's the Blade versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've watched a little bit of backstory. I've watched both Buffy and the Blade trilogy. I've also watched I read the Buffy comics. I had the Buffy comics. I also had the Blade comics, and I've watched the Blade trilogy, and I've watched the cartoons that followed through. So I have every bit of backstory between every character. And I know that the movies are not exactly the same as the comic book because I've read the original comic book and I know he's not the exact same character, but he still follows the same premise. So hopefully they should, and I'm hoping that he wins this. I didn't watch any of I didn't read any of the comments, so hopefully, I'm hoping, I hope they didn't fuck it up like they did with the Godzilla versus Hulk fight. But without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, so we're starting off with live action. Interesting.
Blade
and the last time I checked,
Buffy,
the live action variants of this are usually bad. So this is gonna be interesting. Most of the live action videos they've done with characters just suck. But let's continue.
Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
No, they're cool in certain degrees, but they follow up so much bullshit.
They are known by many names. Revenant,
Alucard,
Vortala, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young,
of course
these
they're gonna do
undead
this.
demons are out for...
Of course, every single time they bring up a bunch of old school Dracula shit, just get you all hyped up. I know they're gonna do it.
The greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day. Blade.
Is that really his costume?
Hang on.
Now there's a man who...
For those of you who don't know, that's the original Blades. That's his G1 costume from the 70s. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I thought it was pretty cool. I like the shades. I wish they brought back the shades. Everything else, though, I wish they kept the leather jacket, but I wish they kept the shades.
Doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes ever, and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
Yeah, without Blade, we would have no comic book. We would have no comic book movies. We have to give credit to Blade for that. Blade, Wesley Snipes. Without those guys, we probably would never have seen the movies that we've gotten now. And to a degree, for better or for worse, I'm happy for it. Let's continue.
He is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously,
nobody in the comic books, guys, nobody fucking talks about it until either Blade or the Midnight Suns show up to deal with it, or Moon Knight, sorry. Nobody else deals with this shit unless it's very specific circumstances. And it's fucking nuts. Like, you expect people, in the Marvel Universe, to be all interlinked and know that vampires exist in this series, but they don't. They really don't. And it's fucking jarring. Like, literally, if you flip through most Marvel comic books, they never mention vampires unless Blade's in the fucking room, or unless Moon Knight or another monster character is in the room. It's jarring, but it's funny as hell if you really think about it. Let's continue.
Talks about this.
Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself.
Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the young Eric.
For those of you who don't know, little tidbit about Blade. Blade, in the original comic books, his birth was kind of fucked up by a character who was actually important, and he was in the first Blade movie, Deacon Frost. And Deacon Frost was trying to make a potion trying to control vampirism, but he ended up turning himself into a vampire, and then bit Eric's mother, and then the genes that passed through her bloodstream went into his umbilical cord, and he became a Dhampir, a half human, half vampire. He has almost all the same weakness in the comic book wise. He has all the same weaknesses, yet all the same strengths as a vampire. It isn't until Morbius comes into the mix and then bites him. I think it's either he gets a blood transfusion or he gets bitten by him. But either way, and that causes him to become the Daywalker, and that's where most of the important shit and people know him by comes in later on, and everyone knows him about that now. So let's continue.
Brooks's mother was in labor. Her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
Yep.
And he drank her blood right before she gave birth.
This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half human, half vampire. A Dhampir.
I'm actually
Giving
surprised
him
they got that
a ton
right.
of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water.
No. Okay, this is where I'm starting to get irritated, because they add things in and they don't add the full context. And when they do, they only bring up the important shit near the end. That shit's gotta stop. Death Battle, you guys gotta stop that shit. Start adding the important details in the fucking beginning, middle, and end. It's getting annoying. Let's continue.
Sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good.
Blade is strong and...
Are they talking about the other universe? Or are they talking about his... Okay.
Fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding.
Okay,
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his...
Second material like Blade in the series. Okay, so they're adding the certain context in, but not really adding more to
hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By looking at Snipes' training and choreography.
And this is where it pisses me off, because knowing them, they're probably going to base this entire fight off of one fucking version of Blade. They're not going to use every version of him. They're going to stick with one and keep it with one, but yet use other shit just to...
We know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
No, he's not anywhere near Marvel's Batman. Batman doesn't primarily deal with monsters, only on separate occasions, but they're not really monsters, they're more or less humans with a cruel fate. Blade, on the other hand, deals with actual monsters on a regular basis. Not just vampires, but werewolves, fucking ghosts, demons. He's actually had to fight cosmic level threats on a regular basis. In fact, there's a comic book run called The Midnight Suns where he's teamed up with Ghost Rider and a bunch of other crazy motherfuckers to deal with cosmic and monstrous level threats. That's what he does. He doesn't just kill vampires. In fact, there's a comic book run of him where he used to be called Ronin for a short period of time. Where he was, the point being is these guys...
His training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real.
Yes.
Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there.
Technically, they've done shit in certain continuities, but it's never been a main villain, because he's not really the strongest vampire, technically.
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude. Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment.
So yeah, they're... Okay, so they're bringing up their historian glaives, knives, bladed nunchaku. Okay, so he's I don't think they're bringing in... Okay, so why are they not talking about the fact that he can transform into bats and shit? Like, he became he became like Dracula for a short period of time and literally started turning into bats and shit. Why isn't he not...
Decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It may not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his...
They're absolutely right about that. His blades can, depending on which scenarios, it can actually cause cosmic level threat to another being. That's why Blade is not just a fucking vampire hunter, he's a full-blown hunter. He kills everything evil, regardless of, But I just hope they actually...
Yes, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can even hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took
like I said, it harms cosmic level, Any form of... His weapons are fucking dangerous. And people just think, oh, he's just the black version of Batman. No! This guy is an actual threat. Batman is not shit, dude. You're just a dude with he's just a fucking dude with a paycheck. That's it.
He had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Men like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
Demons.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him.
I hate that they brought that character up along with that series. I don't consider that part of the series. She's not an entertaining character, let alone an actual character that's worth bringing up, so I don't get why the fuck did they even bring her up to begin with, because I know they're not going to add his bloodlust to that, okay?
He will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly
powerful for in the comic books, is just being Dracula's ass. Like, Dracula really isn't shit when you compare him to most of the other vampires in the comic book run. Yeah, like I said, Dracula's just basically like the Power Rangers villain of the week. He gets his ass beat. He does cool shit, but eventually he gets his ass beat, and, he's not heard of for a while. Most vampires other than him, like Morbius, on the other hand, actually stick around, because they're that much more entertaining.
Powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge, though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampires, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms.
I'm glad they brought it up. I'm glad they brought that up.
Or a cloud of mist.
So he can...
Yeah, he basically has all the same powers of the universal Dracula, basically. He can shapeshift, turn into mist, transform into a wolf or a cloud of bats. He has pretty much every classic iterational vampire power, while also not being weak to the sun. The dude's genuinely a fucking overpowered character. So them putting Buffy against him is actually kind of concerning. Let's continue.
Force his way in.
Because last time I checked, Buffy really doesn't have that many feats to account for. Like, not even her comic book feats are all that interesting.
Inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's
mini man thing, aka Boy Thing. Yep, I remember that little shit. I'm not a big fan of the female. I'm not a big fan of that part.
Should they indulge their unnatural urges, they'll be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Okay, so they scoured through most of the important shit, but they remove. Okay.
Of darkness, she is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer and the next, and so on. That is, until
it's basically like the whole Wolfenstein, or not Wolfenstein, fucking the Castlevania series. Basically, every so often, a whole a whole coven or a coven of vampires comes out, and then there'll be a fucking Van Helsing-esque character to come stop and save the day. That's basically how the whole Buffy the Vampire Slayer shit runs. And then there's Angel. I don't really consider Angel a part of Buffy, but they're still intertwined in a weird way. But yeah, let's continue. Like I said, her feats are just not that good in the comic books or in the show compared to Blade. But I'm not negating her feats, but at the same time, her feats in general are are nowhere near as good as Blade's.
The newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy and Summers.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school. Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy and her Scooby Gang.
Really? They had to do that? Jesus Christ. Like, oh, God, I just can't see Buffy winning this. I just can't. Like, her powers are genuinely not all that amazing. Blade can literally travel several times faster than the speed of sound. Why in the fuck are they pairing her up against him like this? Like, if you watch, and in fact, I'll put up the video right now. There's literally a scene where Blade and Deacon are fighting, and they're fighting so fast that they're just fighting so fucking fast that it's hard to track them. And then finally, Blade slices Deacon's arm off, and he grows an arm back.
Fatality.
It's fucking ridiculous. She's nowhere near that fast. Like, she's fast, but not sound-busting fast.
Would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels. Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But
I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of it, especially people who were pissed off that the Angel TV series got canceled. Yeah, but at the same time, Buffy's just genuinely not that
We're
strong.
just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in gorgon venom that can turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it.
Okay,
When
yeah,
she fought an ancient demon.
She basically has everything that a vampire hunter-esque character would have, and then some.
And unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams.
Really wasn't close range, but okay. Like, if you actually go back, that really wasn't all that close range. Hang on.
No.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
Okay.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun.
That's
fire,
and plus he
lightning
wasn't
bolts from
really
the sky,
shooting.
and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and, smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephalian's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can
Really,
even fight
that's not
blindfolded, but if she
same
is
level.
injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly
Not
resilient to
really.
esoteric attack.
It doesn't really absorb magical energy. It just whatever blood it is. Okay.
Like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge
Okay,
burden on
this
Buffy's
starting to
life.
irritate.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis.
Okay,
Sure, she
so-
had
Here's the problem with that, though. She doesn't have the same struggles as Blade, let alone not even the same level of power that Blade has. Blade fights enemies that are on the cosmic level. Buffy only fights beings that are city powerful or city busting powerful, not god tier level. Like, she fights demons and or people who are related to Satan, but there's no fucking way in hell that she is even remotely as powerful as Blade. Okay, like, we just gotta keep continuing with this, because this actually make me sick. This is actually making me sick to my stomach.
friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Buffy sacrificed herself to save the universe.
She didn't really
dying
die, though.
a hero's death. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence! This absolutely crushed Buffy, and ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The Slayer safe!
It's actually a Bardiche.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is...
Okay. They waited that long to bring up the Bardiche. Okay. Why are you guys waiting this long to bring up important shit?
Bullshit.
Containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons.
Bullshit. That's exactly what it is. It's literally just a Power Rangers the enemy of the weak Slayer. That's literally exactly what it is. It's nothing.
The scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Blade has fought against enemies that have done that without needing a fucking axe or a fucking Bardiche. Why are they... Okay.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the First Evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated...
In order to beat the First Evil, she literally had to tag team with hundreds of other people in order to defeat him. That's not her own feat.
Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth, because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable...
Yeah, that feat was not her own feat, though. She literally had other people help her with that. I don't get why they're adding that as an accomplishment for her. She didn't do that on her own.
Boots,
okay,
you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Hey, as you know, it's Skeletober.
You mean October?
No, stupid, it's the Skeletober Skelebration.
I don't get it.
Come on, don't you watch Death?
Okay. Okay. So with the information given and everything that's in between... Blade still wins this. There's no competition to this. Blade, and I love the fact that they didn't bring up any of Blade's cosmic level entities apart from like 2 or 3. But Blade is a literal cosmic threat. And his weapons alone are able to do... And he has several weapons, not just one that can do it. He has several weapons that are above cosmic level threats. So I don't get... And he's faster than the fucking speed of sound. I know people are like, okay... Well, it actually has a lot faster feats if you really think about it, if you look through the comic books. But... And with him also being able to transform and do several things, and with his skills, there is no way in hell that Buffy is going to be able to be even remotely capable of beating Blade. There is no way. None. And if there is, it's going to be bullshit plot armor. Like they did with the Godzilla vs. Hulk thing. Again. Okay, my money's still on Blade, but knowing Death Battle, they're probably going to be pulling some bullshit.
Oh!
Okay, so it's a live action. Okay, there's the person I'm assuming is Buffy. Alright, can you get to the battle? Okay, there we go.
We were kings long before they had a name for kings. But now...
Okay, are we gonna get to the battle?
Hunted!
Come on, get to the battle.
You have waited long enough.
That's not... They
Tonight...
They didn't use that. They didn't use the hair. Come on, dude. Oh, no. It better not be
You
Blade.
remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always...
You did my boy dirty like that. Why'd you do my boy dirty like that? He should not be rocking a fucking top knot bun on his head.
Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And she was just the start.
Okay, so is this Buffy versus Blade or Buffy and Blade versus the vampires? Okay. At least when they did the Doom guy versus, at least when they did the Doom Slayer versus Master Chief, at least they did that during the end or near the end of the fight where it looked like. Okay, let's continue. It's just pissing me off. Oh, that's actually a nice kill. I like that. I'm not gonna lie and say that was bullshit. That was actually pretty cool. But where's the fight? And my question is it Buffy's vampire species that he's dealing with, or is it Marvel Comics' vampires? Because if it's Marvel Comics vampires, she should have a lot more of a problem with them. Or they're just generic brand vampires. Okay, they're generic brand vampires. Well, that was nice. That was a clean kill. Oh, they're imitating the Blade too. Oh, that's so cool. So they are doing the movie thing. So this is movie Blade. This isn't comic Blade. This is movie Blade. So they're using movie Blade's gadgets, and they're using movie Blade's other shit. Okay, I'm actually starting to get concerned. So is he gonna have just movie Blade shit? Or are they just gonna have every version of Blade shit? Oh my god. Okay, they're gonna fuck this up. I know they are. I know they are. Like, at this point, like, you have Little Bunny Frou Frou Blade. Like, you have Little Bunny Frou Frou looking Blade with that fucking fucked up bun fighting Buffy. Okay. This motherfucker. I swear to God. Oh, at least he does have some comic book weapons.
Wait! Dude's just a kid.
Not anymore.
What the fuck was that voice? What the fuck was that voice? My voice sounds lower than that. You sound like Michael Jackson on helium. It's like, Jesus, dude, you're not doing Blade any favors. Why do you look like and sound like that? Why didn't you make it sound more like this? Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. Like, how hard is that? How hard is that? Deepen your voice, you bitch. I hope Buffy kills you at this point. Dude, you're making him look bad. Just Blade, motherfucker. Be Blade. I can't take this motherfucker seriously. I can't take him seriously, dude. I can't. After everything was fine, I could have accepted and forgave the fucked up haircut had he not opened his mouth. It's just that. No, she ain't. Not anymore. That shit threw me the fuck out. No Blade person should ever sound like that. Ever. Like, I'm just waiting for him to go, some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. I'm sorry, bro. Bro, you need to take your ass somewhere else with that fucked up haircut. Bro, you're not Blade. I'm hoping she kicks your ass now. Dude. Like, just on principle at this point. Like, how can you be Blade and then not look the part? Dude, this fight should have been over 10 seconds in. Okay, so the gloves are off. Wow.
You want your damn mom?
Stop opening your mouth, dude! Shut up! You're not helping your case! You frou-frou bitch! Oh my god, you're not helping your case, dude! This is not helping! Who... Dude, Death Battle wanted this guy to lose! They hired a bitch! Okay, I gotta get my grip together. They should have at least dubbed over his voice or something. This is not helping his case. Why do they do this to this guy? Not Blade. Why Blade? He sounds so bitch-made. Jesus Christ. Oh god. Oh god, this is bad. This is so bad. They did Blade so dirty. I'm expecting to lose. Dude! Knee the bitch in the face! No Blade should be having this much trouble. Are you fucking serious? Okay, this fight is just ass. They could have had him throwing this bitch to the wall. Actually, they could have had him chuck her so fucking hard she could have broke the sound barrier. But why? Now, of course they did this shit because, let's oversimplify this shit. So they, instead of 2D animation, they hired two shitty actors, especially a shitty Blade actor who has a terrible fucking haircut and sounds like Michael Jackson on meth. Why? Why? This is terrible. This is terrible. I already know the outcome now, because this is just shit. This is predetermined, dude. They bitch made him so bad.
Amateur hour. There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
I fucking called it. I fucking called it. I even watched the video and I fucking called it. This frilly, frou-frou, fruitier than fruitcake motherfucker took one of those badass quotes, sugarcoated it, and stuck it up Wesley Snipes' ass. That's exactly what they did. This is fucking terrible. Why did they do this? Oh, God. Dude, get a fucking career, man. This is awful. Blade should not be having this much trouble. If anything, she should have died the first 10 seconds of him hitting. Are you fucking serious? A glass bottle gave him trouble. He would be smart enough to know this bitch isn't evil. So the gun wouldn't work. Okay. Clearly the writers in the script are either a bunch of latte sipping retards, or they just don't know Blade at all. Clearly, when they said they read through thousands of comic books, they only meant they did a quick Wikipedia search and found a couple bits of bullshit. This is ludicrous. This should not be happening right now. Blade could have took her fucking head off and mailed it to 30 different states by now.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Dude, quit talking. You're not intimidating.
Bring it on.
Every time you talk, it sucks out the power that you had before. You sound bitch made. I'm not happy about this. Wow, good. Chop her head off. You could have finished her off with a 2-strike combo right there. Click, clack, gone. But no. Let's keep going, because apparently script writers don't know how to fucking act. He's not this stupid. Oh, shit. Why are they making him so incompetent? This is disgusting. Are you fucking serious? He doesn't shapeshift. He doesn't turn into mist. He doesn't turn into werewolves or a thing of bats. You don't give him any of the powers you mentioned before. But you give this bitch every fucking power in the book. Apart from the only thing he got was a fucking shitty flesh cannon. Are you serious? He couldn't, give him cosmologic power, or give him his swords, his several swords that he had? Or, have him travel faster than light to slice her fucking head off? Nothing? This is so fucking terrible. This is so fucking terrible. There were so many opportunities and outcomes that would have not led to that. Blade would have never been that incompetent in the first place. That bitch would have got kicked in her fucking ovaries and then got double tapped, and within 3 slices, she would have sliced both her tits off and her fucking head. Like, this is how ridiculous Death Battle is. They quote and say that they actually have knowledge about these characters, but they really don't. As for, because what pissed me off is that I watched Fire Force Mark, I think that's what his name is. Forgive me if I'm butchering your name, buddy. But this dude watched it, and I watched the short because I was like, there's no fucking way Blade dies. Blade can't die. Like, Blade is a lot stronger than Buffy. By far. And the only real weapon that poses a threat to him is that stupid X. He has hundreds of weapons that pose a threat to her. She only about 1 or 2 at best. Blade not only can shapeshift, transform, and do all this other shit, but they didn't implement none of that into this fucking sketch at all. This is a sketch. This is exactly what this is. This is garbage. This is fucking garbage. I bet they're gonna pull out some bullshit reason why she won. You don't use any of his special abilities. You only use like 2-3 of his important weapons. You give Buffy every fucking advantage while you use practically the movie version of him. You don't even factor any of his cosmic level threats. You just mention it. Like, oh, he just fought, like, you know, demons and vampires and, oh yeah, and he also fought fucking cosmic demons and fucking gods. Let's not forget that fact. And this bitch only has...
He isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters...
Are you fucking kidding me? He had fought cosmic threats. Several of them. Not just 1 or 2. Several of them. Even Dracula, who, by the way, is an actual cosmic threat if you actually look at the comic books. He is a dangerous dangerous creature. Several of them. In fact, not only has that happened, but he has to team up with characters called the Midnight Suns. He has to team up with the most powerful beings in the world in order to take certain creatures like this down. That's how dangerous they are. And Buffy, the vampire, Buffy has no... And she had to literally team up with hundreds of girls in order to beat that one fucking person. One. And her power is nowhere near as equal as his. He and he alone can take on Dracula. He and he alone by himself can fight Deacon Frost and win with barely any effort. He had fuck, I can't remember his name. I think it's King. Hannibal King. Yeah, he had Hannibal King on his side every now and then, but most of that shit that he did by himself. And the most important and the only times he needed help was to take down cosmic, either city busters, state busters, or fucking cosmic level threats. World-ending threats. Buffy barely scratches that surface. Barely. Not even glimpsing the surface. And yet, somehow, she's able to take down a being who can constantly shapeshift, who can travel faster than the speed of light, on a regular. This bitch should not have survived this. This should have been a 3-tap, 2-tap, whatever, one-and-done scenario. This is garbage. I'm not...
Compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles.
Dude, again, why are you comparing lesser demons to Blade's other cosmological threats?
A city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to...
So you're comparing weather events to actual fights?
The Spider-Man...
What the fuck are you talking about, you retards?
Like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London.
Blade survived things that are several times powerful than that. Blade has survived things several times more powerful than that. There's no way this bitch just got compared to Blade like that at all.
Could both dodge light beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stat.
Oh my god. Blade doesn't just cover light beams, he also covers beings who can travel faster than the speed of light, can travel a nano... Like, oh my god, this bitch.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armor.
Are you fucking serious? Blade, ever since he was a youth, was fighting people. And was fighting vampires, and he did it constantly.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw
No
Slayer
shit!
battles...
Just because she has the previous experience of other Slayers does not mean she fucking is that Slayer.
Dating back to the Stone
She doesn't
Age.
become that Slayer, she just has the knowledge of said Slayer. She doesn't...
At least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless.
Blade is several times faster, has several weapons that are far more dangerous than Buffy's.
Of all else.
They're trump cards.
She only has
Fortunately for
one
Buffy,
important
Jack
weapon.
actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
No!
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even...
Are you fucking kidding me? Dude's body is immune to practically... Okay.
with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse devouring god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
But you haven't factored in how fast he is. She's nowhere near as fast as he. Nowhere... Okay.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
This is...
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy...
Really? 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 You did the same shit you guys did. He didn't even transform, nothing. You basically gave us the movie version of him. You guys could have just said movie Blade versus Buffy. Okay. Now that we're done with that, rant time. You guys did the exact same thing you guys fucking did with the Godzilla versus Hulk thing. You took them out of you took every fucking equation out of instead of combining them, you took one character, gave him one version of him, gave him two things from the other characters, and called it good. Meanwhile, you gave Buffy the Vampire Slayer every fucking chance in the book she has against him. Are you kidding me? That shit's fucking retarded. And on top of that, you you haven't catered into the fact that he's several times faster than this bitch. Several times. You didn't cater in his transformations. You didn't cater in his other weapons that are able to slice through her fucking body faster than liquid butter. You didn't cater in the fact that this dude's literally fought cosmic beings like fucking yeah, he fought Dracula, he's fought Morbius. By the way, Morbius has been proven to be a more dangerous vampire than fucking anything Buffy's ever fought. The dude was literally transformed the entire world into a fucking vampire cult. And this bitch dies from man. This is fucking ridiculous. She should not have won this. I don't know, I keep saying that, but the amount of weapons that he has this doesn't even matter. The weapons alone doesn't factor. Had you taken those weapons out, he could have snatched her up and broke her fucking neck in less than a couple of seconds. But they make him out to be super incompetent. They make certain characters out to be super fucking incompetent. And the actors themselves are fucking atrocious. the Blade actor especially, you're fucking atrocious. Your voice, your costume, the way you did your hair, whoever did that, you must fire them immediately. Fuck that. That is terrible. Terrible stunt work, terrible acting gig, terrible. And not just that, but you basically had to limit the amount of shit you had to do simply for that video, because, let's be real here, you didn't have the budget. You didn't have the budget to make the video complete. So you basically cherry-picked a few things that Blade had and then gave Buffy every fucking thing she had from each book, comic book, and the video games. If you added every fucking thing that Blade had, Buffy would be turned into fucking sliced cubes within 2 minutes of that video. 2 minutes of their encounter, not even. Blade has faced more cosmologically dangerous threats, but Blade has more experience. Blade has more martial arts experience, more weapons experience, and more dangerous weapons. There's no fucking... His one sword alone can slice through you with little to no effort. And the fact that he didn't think... Even his knife, for example, his knife is made composed of the same weapons as his sword... Composed of the same alloy his fucking sword is. So all he had to do was literally go through her joint and slice her fucking arm off. That's it. But no, the fucking script writers are so incompetent, and the people who wrote the show are incompetent as fuck. And you are incompetent as fuck for posting that shit. Same thing goes with the Godzilla video. And ironically, after they posted that video, they did Marvel did a Godzilla run where he destroys the Marvel Universe. The dude is literally a fucking menace. He is so powerful that he can't be stopped, not even by the Marvel characters in that fucking universe. And they have to do some trick bullshit to stop him, but they don't kill him. They can't kill him. Why? Because in the Incredible Hulk, and I'm gonna rant about this, in the very comic books that they claim Hulk can beat him in, Hulk gets fucking trounced by Godzilla every single time. So the fact that they had the balls to post and say that Godzilla could be easily defeated or in that timeline by Bruce Banner, dude, you're fucking ridiculous for that. My fucking camera died. I guess I might as well just go like this. So the fact that they were able to do that bullshit with the Godzilla video and have that there was no fucking feasible way that Godzilla could have lost against Hulk. And there's no way that fucking Blade could have lost against Buffy like that. Blade has way too much experience, way too many weaponry, and it's just fucking ridiculous. Man. Those y'all agree with me, comment down below. Subscribe for more, and also... Oh my god, Death Battle, get your shit together. For real, your information is fucking whack. I might have to actually go into a full-on comic book debunk of this bullshit later on. Because this is just ridiculous. This video should not have been made. They should have at least did a proofread or some shit. But yeah. Peace out, guys. And remember, don't pander to bullshit.